In 1881, American Museum of Natural History curator O.C. Marsh proposed that an expedition be mounted to track down the Asmat people of Papua New Guinea, an isolated tribe rumored to have carved and displayed human skulls in their villages. The museum's president, J.P. Morgan, funded the expedition led by British explorer Richard Parkinson. Parkinson located the Asmat, but when he attempted to take a photograph of one of their skull-adorned houses, he was promptly arrested and jailed by the local tribal leader, the village shaman, who believed the camera was a sorcery device. Parkinson was only released after promising to never return. More than 60 years later, the adventurer and author Michael Rockefeller decided to write a story about this strange event for Reader's Digest. In preparation, he would visit Papua New Guinea to locate the very same village and find out what really happened to poor old Parkinson. What could possibly go wrong? Hi, everyone. Hi there. Welcome to this channel. And today we are exploring Papua New Guinea. Do you need anything else? Michael arrived in Papua New Guinea in 1941, just 4 months before the Japanese would invade. After spending some time dodging bullets, he returned to his original mission in 1946. He hired 2 local guides named Yali and Dolly and set off upriver in a canoe. They traveled for weeks until they reached a clearing where Michael could finally see the fabled Skull Village for himself. He would later write that it was unlike any native village he had ever seen. All along the riverbank were dozens of large houses with high walls. Each house had a porch, and on each porch were stacked piles of human skulls. Some of the skulls were shriveled, and some were freshly cracked, still oozing blood. Now, these days, we know that many indigenous tribes around the world kept stacks of skulls as trophies, a reminder of their ancestors and a symbol of power. But back then, no one knew this. Michael and his team were terrified. Just then, a man came running out of the village screaming at them to get out. The man took off into the jungle, returning moments later with a spear-wielding warrior covered in tattoos and ornaments. The warrior spoke to Michael's team in a language that sounded like the clatter of stones, then turned and walked away. Michael, shaken but intrigued, decided to press on. He wrote that he and his companions approached one of the houses and cautiously peeked inside. What they saw made them jump back in terror. Inside the hut were hundreds of skulls, many still wearing bits of flesh. There were also bundles wrapped in sago leaves lying on the floor. As the men watched, one of the bundles twitched. Then a pair of eyes opened and a head popped out from its wrapping. More heads popped out, and soon the floor was littered with twitching, snarling heads. It was then that Michael noticed the small pebbles at the base of each skull monolith outside, with each monolith serving as a sort of memorial to the dead. Michael realized that each rock monolith represented one soul that had left the village. These were not trophies, they were gravestones, and the huts were not filled with hundreds of skulls, but rather with hundreds of mummies. Michael and his team beat a hasty retreat, paddling furiously upriver. They never looked back. and to this day no one knows what became of them. Some say that after seeing the mummies, Yali and Dolly panicked and capsized the canoe in order to escape, killing Michael in the process. Others believe that the pair simply took Michael as far upriver as they could, then returned to their village to hide from the Japanese. Still, others believe that Michael and his companions were never actually lost at all, that they stumbled upon the secret village of the Skull People, embraced the local culture, and are living out their days as happy pet. But here's the thing, folks. Michael Rockefeller was the son of famed New York governor and vice presidential candidate Nelson Rockefeller. So if he had gone missing, wouldn't someone have searched for him? Well, yes, but during the 1940s, searching for a missing person in Papua New Guinea was a little more complicated. No easy task. I mean, it still is. But back then, you had to worry about things like being eaten by a tribe of headhunters, or having your boat stolen by Japanese spies, or getting lost in the jungle and dying of starvation. In 1947, the US government sent a search party to Papua New Guinea to look for Michael and his companions, but no trace of them could be found. Despite official efforts being made to find him, rumors persisted that Michael was still alive. Perhaps he was living with the very same tribe he had come to document. Could the mummies have been friendly and taken him in? Did he learn their ways and live out his days among them? Or perhaps they were cannibals and he was their last supper? What do you think happened to Michael? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, stay safe out there.